How we doing, everybody? Sal, I got you there, buddy.
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome. Thanks for everybody jumping on. We're not at our normal time at 3 o'clock, but we pushed it back a little bit to 4 o'clock so Sal could join us today. Live from the den, you know the drill. Go ahead and jump on chat. Give us your questions, things you want to talk about. We got a special guest here today. Sal, why don't you introduce yourself in case there's anybody on the chat that doesn't know you?
So I'm Sal Zuniga. I'm the chief of staff for Third Coast Airsoft. We've been at it since 2009, and so glad to be here.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
we always do a beer of the day on the chat, and today's beer of the day is a Paulner Hefeweizen.
Very nice.
Classic, delicious German wheat beer.
Yeah, we call it a can of bread.
Oh, so good. So good. All right, let's see whether we got any comments. Just people making fun of Dion, probably appropriately so. All right. So we got Sal on today. We're going to talk a little bit about shotgun specifically. We'll talk about whatever you want. Throw your comments up. We'll go wherever. But gonna talk a little bit specifically about shotgun with the Gen 12 getting close to release. And tell me, have you had a chance to mess with it firsthand yet?
So the first time I got to see it was at SHOT Show with you.
Okay.
And then I want to say I got to see it one other time. And both times I was thoroughly impressed with what I saw and what I got to. I didn't get to shoot it.
Okay.
But
Okay. Yeah. So we got one down to Sam, right? So he should be getting a firsthand view pretty soon.
Okay.
But we're going to talk a little bit about shotguns, rule sets,
Yep.
how we integrate them and what they bring to gameplay in Airsoft.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because one of the things I'm big on is sort of improving the game overall. And I see a big opportunity here if the technology is implemented correctly to sort of implement a whole new role that has never really been there in Airsoft gameplay. So interested to get your take on how you guys will be doing that, what you'll be doing with rule sets and stuff like that.
So I would tell the audience that this is nothing new in terms of shotguns in Milsim, shotguns at Third Coast Airsoft. What is new is the enhancement that the new shotgun that you guys are building, that you guys are about to bring out, brings to the game. Back in the old days, yep, you're loading your tri-shot pump action.
Oh yeah.
You're going in there and you're only getting 10 pulls of the trigger and you got to pump it. And then people mess with gas, trying to get semi-automatic in there, but they couldn't. It was hit or miss.
Yeah.
And what Wolverine brings is a level of reliability. You know what you're going to shoot when you shoot it. You know that it's going to put a lot of BBs downrange at every trigger pull.
8 BBs per trigger pull.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you're going to be able to suppress a room. Very quickly. Now, granted, you better be squatted up with some guys. Now you've got two shotgun. Ideally, the Third Coast Airsoft squad would be 2 Wolverine shotguns, a saw, 2 submachine gunners, a couple of riflemen, and a DMR, which we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, I'm with you on that because like one of the when we were designing the platform, one of the goals was like, hey, we want something that actually functions like a shotgun. We don't want something that is a shotgun sniper, if you will, right? We don't want something that's like, we want something that functions in gameplay like a real shotgun would, where, the optimal range is, sort of 5 to 30 yards, right?
Yes.
That's your sweet spot. Maybe you hit somebody past that, but like, that's where you want to use it. And where, if you really want to use it to most effect, you have to stack it with other things because that's how a shotgun works. I mean, you're a military guy, so you know that better than I do. But you want a shotgun to work in a combat situation, you've got to stack it with other things. You run a full squad of shotguns, you're probably going to get wrecked.
Well, you never can tell. I mean, we always joked around with Third Coast games where you saw a squad of saws, and you went, "All right, a lot of firepower there," until they get inside a building, and then it doesn't happen.
Right.
You know, I would never discount seeing a full squad of shotgunners.
I mean, it would be fun.
The other squads will go, all right, let's get the slow kids to the door and then put them inside. But yeah, a team of teams would be ideal. And man, this shotgun, when you showed it to me at SHOT Show, I was extremely excited. You couldn't tell me much then. Understandably. But what it brings and the amount of BBs, you were like, oh no, it's going to shoot more than 3. And I went, yes. So
you said shotguns are not new for TCA, right?
Right.
So why don't you tell us what current rule sets around shotgun are, and then maybe expound a little bit on how some of the newer tech might will it fit within the existing rules? Do rules need to be tweaked a little bit? What are you thinking there?
Okay, so currently, because there are some AEG shotguns out there that go semi-auto and full auto, AA-12 coming to mind. That was the first one that really hit our rule set and goes, hey, where does this fall? And I said, okay, well, let's see what it chronos. And everything fell under the submachine gun class. Right. So 1 joule or less. And of course, guys are like, can I run a high cap? I'm like, no, you can't run a high cap. Stick maggot.
Absolutely.
And because at 1 joule or less, you're throwing a lot of BBs, and no one can get salty, right? I mean, it's like, hey man, you just got hit with a bunch of BBs, all of them traveling slower than 1 joule. Guys who've played overseas in Asia, particularly Japan, everything's 1 joule. So we had an appreciation for submachine guns and shotguns should shoot not as far as riflemen, should not shoot as far as DMRs. So for us, we just kind of lumped them into the submachine gun class because 1 joule or less, allowing full auto indoors, out, because everyone else can only shoot full auto outside with light machine guns. So what we're having to tweak the rule set is put the word shotgun /SMG. That's really the tweak. Have we seen a lot of shotguns out there? No. We've seen a lot of the old pump action ones. We've seen Dion with his AA-12 once. And I think because the technology wasn't there. Or it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't work. And I think what you've developed is really going to allow for it to come of age in a big way.
So we got a question on here. It says, will it be an 8-round burst? It's not an 8-round burst. So it's not like, an Inferno engine in there that just fires 8 times sequentially. It actually releases 8 BBs. It's one after the other in a sense that it's fired from a single barrel, but they're very, very close together. And when it fires, it comes out just like a cloud of BBs all at once. If you didn't have slow motion video to slow it down and see them come out one by one, you would just assume that they all came out at exactly the same time, because downrange, it's just a cloud of BBs headed downrange.
If people were familiar with real shotguns, you would have a full choke on that barrel.
Yeah.
So the load, talking real steel, for guys who know shotguns, when it comes out of the barrel, it's got an extreme choke on it. So the pattern is going to stay real tight at about 2 feet out the barrel, and then the spread's going to open.
Then it's going to start spreading. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you're gonna, and that's interesting because that's kind of what I've recommended, because I've interfaced with a bunch of different field owners, kind of talking about how they'd integrate rule sets, and that was kind of my recommendation was, if you have a rule set that allows for full auto somewhere, just steal the energy limit from that.
Yeah.
Right. And then call it good. Right. And that's going to be close enough. And I also like your thing about the high cap, because like one of the things we did with the design, it was like, okay, we want this to function kind of like a shotgun. One of the things with a shotgun is you don't have infinite ammo.
Right.
Like, ammo's big and it's heavy. And even a big mag can only hold, 10 rounds or so. Like a
Right.
10-round shotgun mag is huge.
Yeah, I think God, what is that? It's the pistol that came out about 4 years ago. It's got a 20-round rotary drum.
Oh yeah. And that's a drum. Like a
Yeah.
shotgun drum mag is 20 rounds. Right?
Yeah.
That's, like, so we have this. Our mag, we went with a 150 round capacity, right? Which is like between 15 and 20 trigger pulls, right? You're right in that range. And it's like, okay, so the system puts a lot of BBs downrange quickly, and it is full auto capable.
Right.
It'll cycle on full auto. But if you do that, you're going to be out really freaking quick.
Exactly. Which it's just like the submachine gun class where, hey, you got a 90-round MP5 mag or an MP7 mag.
Yeah.
And you see these guys go into a room and spray the room, and he's immediate. Like by the time he's got halfway through, I got to change mags.
Oh yeah.
So, and I love watching John Wick movies. The guy, he was learning how to do quad load shotguns when he was training for the movie. Shoving four shells at a time in a shotgun. Anyone who's tried to do double loads, man,
double loads are hard enough.
Yeah,
I've never gotten good at double loads. I can't even imagine.
So we were trying it one day. We were like, all right, let's see if I could quad load like John Wick. Let's see if my gun foo's any good. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And then the next movie comes out and he's rocking the Dracarys, and you're like, my God, there's magazine fed.
Yeah.
But good Lord, that's a lot of weight.
But it does kind of it sort of self-regulates and keeps it from being too OP, right? Because it's very effective at what it should be effective at, but you can't just go blast. I mean, you can blast on full auto for like 2 seconds, and then and those mags are not small. It's not like you can load on 16 mags on your kit. Like they're big. I don't know. Do I have one here? Oh, I've got one here.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, like that's that like you think about sticking that on I mean, you can get like maybe, I mean, a really heavy loadout with these things would probably be like 6, right?
Wow.
Get like 3 on the chest and then maybe 3 on the waist, and and that's, I mean, unless you want to go to having some on your legs or like you want to double stack those things on your chest. Now you're carrying like
a
bread
plates
box on your chest.
I remember it was the father of the AA-12, the Daewoo 12 gauge.
Okay.
We got to shoot him in South Korea, because it was a standard issue in South Korean Army. When they put that thing on auto, it shoots 3 shells a second.
Right.
So when we were talking about your rate of fire, I was like, oh, he's there. You know. But you'll dump that mag quickly. Yeah.
So ours will get up to about 8 rounds per second. About 8. We're saying cycles, because you have to be careful. It gets confusing if you say rounds, because that could be BBs, right?
Yeah.
So for the shotgun, we're saying it'll cycle up to about 8 cycles per second. Depends on your pressure and settings like that. Lower pressure, it won't cycle quite that fast.
That's 64 BBs, man.
Yep.
Good God.
But that's what I'm saying. 8 cycles per second on a 150 round mag, you got like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're done. So like it does full auto, but like, are you really going to you're going to go out in the backyard and be like, hey guys, check this out.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking of application. Like if someone's they're about to breach the door, and you're like the last man left alive on the objective. You're like, they ain't coming through that door, Hoss. Yeah. Or, you got like one of our games, we're going to have landing craft. The ramp goes down. I hope to God the guy in the bushes doesn't have one of your shotguns.
Oh yeah. The whole craft is done.
Yeah. Wow. So it's not overpowered. I think you've achieved that perfect nirvana to get it where it matches.
And like you said, most, the per BB energy is pretty low.
Yeah.
Like I expect most rule sets are going to be a sub 1 joule per BB energy, right? Like, and that, and so you get hit, and like, it's kind of a weird experience. I'm going to talk about this in a bit, but at because we're going to do a demo at one of your events coming up here soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One of the things with that demo I want to do is I want to give people a chance to get shot by it, because we did that at the tech class. We did that at the tech class, right? We had all the dealers come up, and it was like, hey, you can shoot it. and you don't have to, but I'd really recommend going and getting shot because it's a different experience. The closest thing, honestly, is actually like an airsoft grenade. One of the shower grenades that just,
Right.
because each individual impact is not that heavy because it's, less than a joule, right?
Right.
But you get hit a whole bunch of times, like all at once, and it's just
Right.
like
you can't argue it.
Right. None of them by themselves is that bad. But
Right.
you keep getting hit a whole bunch of times all over, and you're like, okay, I got it. Like, I'm good. So yeah, that's but which one? So we're coming down for, is it Crossbones? We're planning to do that up?
Yeah, you guys will be at Crossbones on the 18th through 20th of October,
Okay.
which it's a closed prison penitentiary hospital.
Okay.
That's got it's got awesome urban complexity, and it's got some great woods. So
nice.
as you're walking through the woods, you'll come out of the wood line and go, oh crap, there's a sally port to the southern entrance of the prison.
Right.
Or vice versa.
Okay. So I'm planning to be at that game.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be there, help out with the demo. Are we going to be able to run it at the game or just demo it at the game?
I think both. Both. Let's do both, because I want people to see if they experience being on the receiving end. I want them to see, okay, this thing's got some punch. It's got some combat multiplying ability. And then at the test fire range, they get to fire a few rounds and go, all right, I got to get me one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. And I do think we should, for the demo, if we can set it up so people have if they want to, we'll bring like some paintball masks or stuff so people's faces are protected. But just like, give them a chance to go down range and have their buddies shoot them. It just kind of demystifies it and makes it so it's not like this, oh, this is going to hurt so much. Like, yeah, I mean, you're playing airsoft, you get shot, it hurts. Like, like that's part of the game. But it's not the most accurate like way to describe it that I heard because we were just kind of listening to dealer feedback. The most accurate description was dealer said, well, it's not nearly as bad as getting lit up with a saw. I was like, that's a pretty good, like,
okay.
Right. Like, it kind of, it'll kind of suck if you get lit up, but it's not as bad as, other things that we deal with all the time playing. So like, yeah, it's in the realm of what you should expect if you're going to go out and play airsoft. So yeah. What other events do you guys have coming up?
So 2 weeks before Crossbones, we'll be at Fort Cavazos, Fort Hood for us old vets, at the Elijah Mount
Did they
site.
change the name?
Yeah, it got stuck in the name changing thing.
Huh. So I did not know that.
Yeah, Fort Hood, Fort Cav, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
But we'll be at the St. Elijah Mount site. For the guys that have been there before, it's the southernmost mount site, the largest one, larger of the two. Another one for guys who like CQB but never know when they're going to be in a wood line. And that's 4 through 6 October.
Okay.
So we're pretty excited to go support the Marine Corps birthday ball fundraising.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they love airsofters because they get to celebrate the Marine Corps birthday on our tab. So why not? Be a patriot, buy a Marine a drink. Okay.
There you go.
And then come December, we'll be at Guardian Center for Serious Viking.
Yeah.
They really wanted us to come out in December because the weather's right. Their schedule's wide open. And if you haven't played at the Guardian Center, get Santa Claus to give you something for Christmas early, folks, and get out there.
It's a crazy AO.
Yeah.
Crazy AO.
Godfather calls it the World Cup of Airsoft. So.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to come down for Crossbones, help out with the demo on that, and just if anybody wants to stop by and say hello. I don't get out to that many games anymore, but I try to get to a few a year. So that's one of the ones I'm gonna get to, and not sure if I'm gonna play that one or not. I may. We'll see how it goes. But you mentioned DMR rule sets earlier. So walk me through that. What do you guys do for DMR rules?
Okay, so we have a DMR class which is separate from our sniper rifle class. DMR is designated marksman rifle for the uninitiated or anybody who's ever wanted to know what DMR stood for. Our sniper class is bolt action. So 2 different classes, 2 different FPS dual limits, 2.12 joules for DMR class, semi-automatic builds. We like 308 7.62 replicas because the ref on the field can immediately identify that as that's 308, that's a DMR, without having to stop a player and going, hey, let me see your chrono tag.
So do you allow like 5.56 base replicas for DMR? You do? Yeah. Okay. So but you encourage people to use people to use the 7.62 base.
So if it's not a 7.62 based replica, they got to have a bipod, they got to have a scope on it.
Gotcha.
So guys running and they can't have like this chopped M4 thing. It's got to be like a Mark 12.
Right.
So when guys ask us, hey, can I run my
16-inch plus barrel or something like that?
Yeah. Can I run my chopped AK? No, dude, it's got to be a DMR. Sorry. And that's because it keeps the drama down because the ref on the field can go, all right, yeah, he's running a VSS with a long barrel. Yeah, that's a DMR.
Yeah.
Or Scar H, or, in your case, the 308. It's immediately, I just put a scope on it and roll, man. It's a 308 platform. Yeah. Get after it. And I think it's awesome that you have a 308 platform now.
That one we worked on for a while, but I'm really pleased with how it came out. And it is, different event organizers have different rule sets, and some require 308, right? That's a hard requirement. Some require a 16-inch plus barrel. There's different rule sets. So whether it's the rule set requirements or just from a role playing standpoint, hey, I want to do a DMR loadout. Either one, right. It's nice to have the sort of out of the box performance capability of the MTW in a platform that is that in different options that match your different loadout options.
So the other piece I like about it is you're keeping pace with the industry. 308 ARs are now very much in vogue.
Oh yeah,
they were kind of heretical a couple of years ago, but now everyone's getting into 308 AR builds. So you're keeping pace with the real steel industry. And that matters.
All right, I'm going to jump to a couple questions here. What do we got? Sure. What up, Airsoft fam? How's it going? But are you really going to go full auto? Yes, I will.
Yes, I will. Tim Moulton. Yes.
Dion was one of the guys here at the tech class, and he's talking about the experience of getting shot by the shotgun. He says, indeed, a different experience. Will you be able to mount tracer units to it ready for Star Wars effect? So we're working on the tracer front. Probably won't be available at launch. But we're interfacing with Ace Tech right now to try to get a tracer module that fits the shotgun done. The challenge there is that because of how it fires, you need the LED to stay on for a longer period of time. So it's not just a different casing. They have to go back and redo some stuff with the electronics to try to make that work. Because you can run one of the one of the little their little drop-in modules, the little Bifrost like drop-in modules. And we actually dimensioned the muzzle device on the shotgun, which I'm not going to pull up because anytime we're on YouTube, if we pull up a gun, it immediately cuts the feed.
Yeah, so, it'll kill it.
But if you unthread the muzzle device on the shotgun, one of those little Bifrost modules will drop inside and you can reinstall it on the gun and you keep the original form factor. But the problem is it'll only light up like the first 3 or 4 BBs, which you can do if you want, but it's like, it's just not quite all the way there. So we are looking at it, but probably won't be done for launch, but hopefully we'll get that rolled out at some point, but we'll see. They basically told me they think they can do it, but they have to test it to make sure they can actually get the brightness they need with the longer, on time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other questions. I need to speak with someone at Wolverine about thermal optics. Okay. Well, thermal optics are awesome. So if you want to reach out to us about thermal optics, then you can reach out on social media, Instagram or Facebook, or probably honestly the best thing is get on the website, and we have a like a service desk. You can submit a ticket on there. So I don't know what about thermal optics, but that's cool. I like thermal optics.
Yeah.
That was probably the coolest thing at SHOT Show.
Yes.
Freaking Hollow Sun thermal.
Yeah.
And it's not even expensive. It's stupid.
The technology is below $1,000.
I'm seriously considering getting one for my AR.
Kukui had one. Thomas bought one for like $399, and we were just slaying. It was a monocular, and we're like, what do you see? And he goes, "Oh, I see the guy at 300 yards." I'm like, dude, my nods. I'm like, I don't see what you're seeing.
Yeah. It's bonkers. I have never seen. I've been to SHOT for, I don't know, a bunch of years now, like almost 10 years now. I've been going to SHOT, but probably 10. I don't know, something like that, a bunch. I have never seen they were actually right next to us because we were showing in the EVIC booth.
Yeah.
And the Hollow Sun was right next to us.
Right next to you guys.
I have never seen a booth that swarmed.
And we were at NRA. We were at the NRA show this past May.
Was it the same there?
Yeah. And there's, it was like the whole laser trainer. You saw like, 100 different versions of laser trainer. There was probably 50 different vendors with thermals. Shoot, all of them under $1,000. So,
dang. So somebody must have made a technology breakthrough that's like filtering down into more cost-effective optics, thermal optics. That's cool. I mean, thermals are.
Now we've done some in-house because we've got some thermal cameras for our media, and we've done some out-of-the-box thinking on how to get BBs to be hot under thermals.
Shoot! I've
pulled it off. We've pulled it off.
What did you end up having to do? If you don't mind sharing.
Hand warmers.
In the magazine?
No, just rubber banded the magazine on each side of the mag.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and then a hand warmer on the 30 cal, on the 240 actually that you guys built for us. So,
okay.
So, and it's going to be just a few degrees warmer, and you can see it coming out the barrel. It looks cool.
That's pretty cool.
So we're going to try to. I'll have to find some of that video from Stonebreaker because we were like, that looks so cool, and of course, the guys are rubber banding them. Like, look, let's use MRE heaters next time. I'm like, yeah, Kevin, we were using hand warmers.
Nice. Willie, I missed a question. William said, will it come with different handguard lengths? If you're talking about the shotgun, initially we just have the movie version because there's like the pure and tactical version that was used in John Wick 4. That's the first version we're doing. We probably will do other versions at some point in the future, but we have there's no hard plans for that. Just we have some new technology here. We'll probably at some point do something different with it, but I have no timeline on it. Just that right now the movie version is the one we're launching with. I had another question along those lines. Are there any plans for something like a Benelli M4 utilizing the new engine? That would be really cool.
Wow.
That would be really cool. It's definitely possible. Like we can do it. But I don't have any plans for it right now. The challenge for us in that is it's not a good fit from a manufacturing technology standpoint. So if we wanted to do it, we'd have to outsource a lot more of the manufacturing, which we can do. But it's not been our focus up till now. We've kept most things more aligned with the stuff that we can do internally with our internal manufacturing capabilities. But so no plans for it, but it's definitely possible. The engine is, like the patent we're getting on the engine is very versatile in terms of what you can do with it.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of options, but everything takes time. You know, we've been at this over 10 years now.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
we've got more ideas. So
yeah, and they're giving you more and more ideas.
yeah, I mean, I'm down. I like ideas. Any plans to work on GBB pistols? I don't know. I mean, I don't see a whole lot in terms of, if you're talking about a GBB pistol, I don't see how much better you can do than having a tapped mag. There's one thought I've had that you could do, but I'm not sure of the value of it.
Yeah.
It kind of is what it is. There are some other thoughts in terms of pistols I've had. We'll see. MTW LMG would be nice. It would.
Yeah, yes.
That actually fits in the same category as the Benelli, though. It really doesn't fit our manufacturing technology. So, the bodies of the guns,
Right.
it's all stamped sheet metal or something like that. That is not our strength. So maybe at some point, but it's it's not. Which I guess raises the question. I'll throw this out at you, because we've had everybody always asks for the MTW LMG,
Right.
Which makes sense, right? Because you put a lot of rounds through an LMG, and one of the big things with it's just the reliability, right? So
Right.
Makes sense. But what is y'all's rule set around LMG? Because people, when I object to the manufacturing stuff, people say, "Oh, well, just do something that's like a Shrike."
So we are probably one of 2 event producers that allow the Shrike.
Okay.
The M4, the M16 based, the old CMG Colt machine gun. I'll give away my age a little bit. I got to test it a little bit many years ago.
Okay.
The SAW was the ultimate decider. They were like, "Oh, we're going to take what the Marines have," and the Army got the 249, and then bigger Army questions, and then later on, and lo and behold, the M27 comes about. So we allow the M27, we allow the Shrike, whereas others don't. Some are like, M27, it's really not a light machine gun. I'm like, okay, if you're not going to allow that, you can't allow the RPK.
Right.
So
right.
we're like, hey, we're going to allow it, but it's got to be a true to replica build,
right?
For the M27, and for the Shrike, the uppers they make. I mean, they make a Shrike replica. There's more than a few out there.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see somebody take one of those Shrike uppers and put it on an MTW lower. That would take a little bit of technical. I know Dion's like, I can do it. You keep going to the gym, Dion. All right. So I know there's some techs out there that they think they can. I'm pretty sure they can amaze me at the next event and go, Sal, I heard you say it. Here it is. So yeah, I think that'd be an easy build. You've got the technology there.
I don't know. I'll think about it. Jack. We'll see.
All right. Hey, who was that, by the way? That was Thomas Muir. Hey man, you put the seed there. I reinforced it. He's thinking about it. Good decision making is always involved Hefeweizen. So
does Wolverine plan on making replicas in other colorways than black? We have in the past, usually in limited runs. Other than that, the only ones we do on a continuous basis, you wouldn't consider this a replica because it's not a replica, is all the Heretic Labs stuff, and that's not all black. But you will probably see more of that at some point. Whether it will ever become a thing that we do all the time, I don't know, or whether it will just be like limited runs from time to time. But you may see more of that at some point. We talk about it on a regular basis. We just have, again, one of the things you have to remember is we're a relatively small U.S. based manufacturer, right? So
one of the few.
In terms of making guns, like unless I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe I'm forgetting somebody. I don't know. It's possible. But in terms of like manufacturing complete guns, it's not common. And one of the things that I know from a customer standpoint, it doesn't really seem like any different, but you think, well, they may already make the parts. Why does the different color matter? Well, from a manufacturing cost standpoint, those receivers and rails and stuff are really expensive. And if I make them in 2 different colors, I now have to inventory 2 different colors of receivers that are unique to those guns that we build. And that now doubles my inventory cost on those parts, because I have to hold, instead of, holding, $50,000 worth of inventory, now I have to hold $100,000 worth of inventory.
Right.
And so it just adds up. And the more variations you do, especially that are unique, like color options, the more expensive stuff gets, just because that's all capital that has to be tied up and sitting there. And we're not,
hoping there's enough people that like that color.
Yeah. When are we going to get to see how the shotgun fires?
Crossbows?
Well, the patent's already through, so that's good. Within a few months, I'll say, before launch. And we told you last time, plan is to launch right around the end of the year. Which means some customers may see it by the end of the year, but most customers, by the time you allow for shipping and so on and so forth, it'll probably be very beginning of next year. So sometime before that, we will probably do much more in-depth technical, look at how the system works. It's pretty freaking cool. We showed dealers at the tech class this summer how it works internally.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part about, one of the things I love about the technology is how freaking simple it is. Once you actually see what's going on inside, there's almost no moving parts. It's extremely simple. There's just not many things to go wrong, which is great, because we all want to spend more time playing and less time having stuff break.
Yes. Yes.
416 uppers. That would be a cool idea. It's definitely one I've thought of, but we'll see. We have lots of ideas. Yes. The difficulty is not having ideas for us at the moment. The difficulty is picking which ideas to actually do and which ones to say, it's going to have to wait. So we'll see. Should do a green colorway. Green is really cool. We actually have some samples in a really cool green color, green anodized color that I love. But I don't know whether we'll ever get to it. So I don't know. Let me jump over here. So, are you going to be at the Six Flag event?
Yes.
You're going to be there?
Yeah, I will be there. So I don't know how much playing I'm going to do because I just had knee surgery.
Okay.
But
what'd you get done?
Oh, they had to repair my meniscus.
Fun. Yeah, my knees are killing me right at the moment because so I'll tell on myself a little bit here. Yesterday morning, the dog freaked out about an animal outside at like 3:45. And I woke up and I was like, well, that's the end of the night. Like, I'm not going back to sleep at this point. Yeah. There's no chance. So I was laying there and it got to be about 4:00 and I was like, I kind of feel like going for a run. And I've been doing a little bit of running, but not a lot. The longest run I've done in the past like 5 years is like 5 miles, right? Yeah, but generally I've run like 3 or 4 miles, and that's just kind of my standard distance. So I was like, I kind of feel like going for a run, and it's early. It's one of the first nights that it got really cool. It got down to like 50 degrees. I was like, this is going to be. I was like, I could go out and just go for a run. It's like I could go for a nice long run. And then because I'm an idiot, I thought, you know what? I could run a half marathon. Like I've got enough time if I start now. So I went out at 5. I started at 5:30, and I was like, all right, I don't want to quit. So I'm going to leave my phone at home, so I can't call anybody to pick me up. And I'm just going to go, and like I can shut my brain off for 6 miles. And if I get 6 miles out, then I'm stuck and I have to run back.
Yeah.
So I ended up running a half marathon yesterday morning. I've never done one before in my life. The longest run I've ever done was 5 years ago, and that was like 10 miles. I haven't done a run longer than 5 miles in the past 5 years. Yeah, it was fun, but my knees right now are like
Yeah, thou
my
art
knees
mortal.
are questioning my life decisions.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, after being a GI Joe for going on
God,
26 years,
yeah, I believe it.
it
Yeah,
was time to get my knee looked at, and they said, yeah, you got to have meniscus repair, and while we're in there, we'll clean up some arthritis. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay. And the ortho, she just came from working on the SF guys, so she's really good at putting burly operators back together.
right,
And I was like, okay, if only I will do this surgery, but only if you do it. And she said, you
right,
got it. And so I got it done on the 5th of August. And I'm using my stand up desk today, so I'm
nice.
clearly on my feet. So that's a big deal. But I think Six Flags, I won't get medically cleared until the 19th.
Okay,
So that Thursday before we drive to New Orleans, I don't
we'll
know.
see.
I want
Uh
to, I remember playing a John Lewis event at Myrtle Beach at the old
huh.
closed Hard Rock Park, which was
Yeah,
an old Six Flags. So I'm like, dude, if I can rehab right, I
yeah.
think I can do it. Plus, we're trying to get Coach to go. So
Okay, nice.
if we can get my brother to go, anytime me and my brother can roll together, would be
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, so I'm going to be at that event as well, and
Cool.
I'm going to be playing that event. I've already told my
Yes.
guys like, I'm going to be minimally in the booth. You're going to run the booth. I'm going to go play this one, and I'm going to be running shotgun. There's going to be at least probably
Nice.
probably at least two of us running shotgun at that event.
That would be
So
epic to see
dude,
it or be on the receiving end. Either way, I don't care. It'll be awesome to see it.
what are you running, tan or green?
I have no idea, man. I
Okay.
think Snick's gonna be like, face this way, go that way, sir. I'm like, okay. Um, so I don't know yet. I do know that we are going
Okay.
because it's Freddie's. This is a major deal for VFA fundraising, so we
Yeah,
don't want to miss it. We passed on that AO back in 17 because it was still underwater. And
yeah,
so when Freddie said that he got that AO, I was like, they drained it, and of course, yeah. All right, it's been 5 years,
yeah.
or 7 years. It's clearly not underwater now,
Right.
and
There,
so
yeah, I'm curious to see how many gators there are still roaming around down there. I've heard
yeah,
I've heard there's definitely still some gators around
yeah.
to be chased off. Yeah,
Okay, so
but we're gonna be running green at Six
okay,
Flags. So
I hate
um
wearing tan because I wear it
okay.
daily for work.
Yeah,
So I think everybody else is like, just start break out your old BDUs, man. Let's do it. I don't know yet,
nice.
so. I'm just waiting for the weather to get just a hair cooler because you said
Yeah.
50 degrees and I'm like, it was 114 when I got out of the truck right now. So
So
yeah,
bad. Yeah, we've the last week. It's actually been really hot up where we not that hot, but for us, really hot where we are for like the past month and a half. And man, the last week, the nights have started dropping down into like the 60s. A couple nights ago, it was in the 50s. It's
oh
so nice.
yeah,
So nice. I love fall personally. I'm a fall guy. I like spring. Spring's great. Summer's fine. Winter's fine. But fall is like, I love fall. The weather
yeah.
starts getting cool again. All the leaves start changing. It's
But the
just,
bugs go away.
yeah. Oh man. I love fall so much. So I always look forward to it.
I see shows right now how it
Sorry.
fires before you. Oh wow.
What's that?
I'm just reading some of the comments. Hey, thanks, Kevin, Greg. Appreciate that, man. A price estimate on the shotgun.
We're not going to tell you that just yet.
Yeah.
I mean, well, let's just say it's a replica of the John Wick shotgun with a whole
Yeah.
bunch of tech in there. It's not going to be our cheapest gun we make,
Yeah.
obviously. Hopefully that should be obvious.
Well, a lot went into it too. I asked you that question at SHOT Show, and you were like, I'm like, no, hey man, say no more. I mean, I understand because there's a lot of number crunching that has to go into it.
Yeah. So we're relatively soon. You should see pricing, but it's not public yet.
Yeah.
Kevin says he's running green at Six Flags.
Oh, nice.
Will the frac adapter fit on an Article 1? Yes. If you obviously you have to like put a some sort of buffer tube on there to attach it to. The frac goes around the buffer tube, right? That's how it attaches. And the Article 1s come with a buffer tube cap. Oh, wait, hang on. Are you asking the Article 1 that has the threaded cap instead of the Picatinny? If that's your question, my answer is I don't know. If you're asking about one of the original ones that has like the threaded buffer tube cap, I would have to check the dimensions on that. I don't actually know whether it fits. That is a compatibility question I have not been asked. So I will. I'll try to check that. But yeah, let me check my questions real quick and see whether we got anything or my sort of topics to go over here. We talked about that. Oh, have you gotten a look at the new battery grips we put out yet?
Yes.
Dude, I'm thrilled with those personally.
I know
the simplicity of just running CR123s and never like having to give it a second thought is like so much.
Yeah, so interesting to note, man. What was one of the biggest questions that the team had when we got on the field back in the day? You got any 123s? Dude, check. Yeah, now it could be like check your grip.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Recharge. Yeah. I anytime somebody talks to me about rechargeable battery, I just saw Dion's comment. Rechargeable batteries. Okay, I'm sorry. I got some PTSD from that when guys came along and said we got brand new green rechargeable batteries for your tanks. I went, no, please.
If you want to, it's fine. The way I look at it is, go buy if you buy CR123s at a drugstore, they're kind of expensive. They're kind of stupid. But if you order some off Amazon or something, you can get them for like a little over $1 a piece. Like it's not that much.
Yeah.
That's my personal take on it.
And now you have the ability to have them on your weapon. So
and you can just use them for everything. You use them to run the gun, you use them to run the flashlight, do all everything all at once. Battery grips are out. You're gonna be seeing some more from us about battery grips on guns coming up at some point here. Just because they make it really nice. You have the switch on the bottom, so you can turn. Do I have one here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just dropped it. Oh no, never mind. We're on YouTube. I can't do that.
Nope. Can't.
Nope. Almost made a mistake, guys. I mean, we're about to wrap up anyway, so it wouldn't have been catastrophic. But all right, gonna do one more check on questions before we wrap up here. Anything, and if you have anything else you want to talk about, Sal, you can go ahead and throw it out.
Let's see. So some good questions came in about what is in 2025 for us.
Okay.
We will be at a new AO once we go final with the contract. We'll be there in January at a brand new AO in North Carolina.
Nice.
So it'll be Iron Fury the way I want it to be done. The guys who remember Iron Fury back in the day, we made a round peg fit in a square hole, hosting it at GTI. Now I have the AO that I want to have this event at. And so that'll be a big deal once we go final on that. And then, March we'll be at GTI doing Stonebreaker. So that is our 24-25 fighting season.
Nice.
And guys are begging me to do another Vietnam game. I know one of your guys was like, Sal's got to do another Prairie Fire. I'm like, I'd love to do another Prairie Fire.
We have one of my guys that has taken a real steel, A1 upper, fixed charging handle, the whole deal, and has modified that to fit his MTW. So he has one of the only got the classic. I think he has it as like the classic Vietnam style M16 right now with the hand guard and all like long hand guard, the whole deal. It's pretty sick.
So we're trying to get a spot on the calendar to do a Prairie Fire 2. And this is the first time I mention it. So we're trying to figure something out.
Okay. Yeah. I got some guys that'll love that if you can put it together.
Yeah. Get the black pajamas out.
Let's see. What's your opinion on the Gen 3 Billet Series Tactical Edition? That's 10-inch Gen 3 Tactical is I haven't looked at the numbers for sure, but probably our most popular model. It's just, it's one of those things. If you already have furniture on hand that you want to upgrade it with, you can get the basic model and swap the stock and grip and whatever. But if you just want to buy it with like nice furniture out of the box, it's the way to go. This one kind of cracks me up, and I don't want to assume, because I don't know that your background, and maybe you just like thicker grips. But one comment we get all the time on the MTW is to make a thicker grip, and it's because we use real steel spec grips, which are thinner than an AEG grip.
Right.
And I just kind of think I kind of find it amusing, because like the DLG grip is not actually a small grip by real steel standards. It's a very average sized grip.
Yeah.
But if you're used to AEG grips, all of our real steel grips will feel
right. And I was going to tell you that. It was like, it's funny how sometimes, Airsoft strives to mirror real life. Now real life is going, hey, these Airsoft grips feel kind of good on our hands.
Yeah.
And so one thing we saw at NRA, the Dismay, was a different grip that was thicker. And I went, why does this feel familiar?
Really?
And the guy's like, what do you mean familiar? And I went, and Snick was, when I told Snick later, he goes, dude, AEG grip. And I went,
yep,
there it is. And I was like, wow, Airsoft bleeding over into real steel, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we've got adaptable grips.
Everybody, whatever, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Everybody's hand, and I think some of it is just what you're used to.
Yes.
And like, to me, an MTW grip does not feel, and, I have, I don't know, normal sized hands, I have relatively short, but very fat fingers,
the meat. Yeah.
Yes. And an MTW grip feel like, or a real steel grip, I'll just say, feels correct to me. But I mean, everybody's hand's different geometry. It's one of the nice things though, is there are so many different real steel grips. The MTW will fit any real steel grip pretty much. So go take your pick. There's a million options.
Or you can do what my old sergeant said. If you can't get enough grip, wear thicker gloves.
There you go. So. There you go. Does the Gen 12 come with the battery grip and or frac? It will come with frac. We'll talk about the Terran Tactical version that we're launching with, at least, but it will come with frac. But it has BCM furniture. The grip is actually a real steel BCM grip.
Wow.
The stock is repro, but BCM licensed stock. So the grip will be a BCM grip. So it's not going to have the battery grip on it. It will work with the battery grip if you want to fit it on there. But again, since it's a movie replica gun, we went with the furniture that they use, so everything matches. How do you decide when to have events? Does heat factor in timing?
So Kevin Rice, great question. Yes, heat plays a huge factor as we design timelines. If you notice, our games in the late spring will have more breaks. So you'll have a battle break, dinner break, and then night round. And then, like Serious Viking, one long phase one from 11 to about 4:30, and then about an hour, 2-hour break. What's up, Jose? And then, then you go in. So yeah, we take heat into consideration quite a bit. And for Iron Dagger, it's like, hey man, it's already November. Turn it on, leave it on. Air conditioning's on outside. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to. I mean, I've lost count of how many heat casualties I've seen at events. Like people don't, again, I'm not, it's just no offense meant whatsoever, but most people at Airsoft events are not used to hours of hard physical labor, let alone in the sun with kit on, carrying an extra, 10 to 50 pounds of gear, depending on who you are and what you want to carry.
Yeah.
Like, the people at these events are not adjusted to that. Like, it's one thing if you're doing that every day forever. Okay. You at some point you adjust, but like if you do this 3 times a year, like there's no adjust. You're cooked. And
well, even in the real deal, to be in a gunfight longer than 30 minutes is you've done something kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Or something's going right and you're being wildly successful. But even then, you're going to hit that fatigue wall pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I would say I've heard guys, professional CrossFitters, try airsoft for the first time and go,
Oh
"Holy crap, I'm smoked, man!" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
dude,
you can." I mean, yeah, it's a whole combination of things. Like, yeah, you can be in great shape, and if you don't know how to manage your energy through a game, good night. You will get smoked. I mean, it was one of the things that used to crack me up. We used to, back in the day, I used to play Black Sheep events, which is, pretty much 24 hours continuous, right?
Yep.
Now, heat wasn't usually the issue because it was, through the night for the most part. But man, I'd see dudes running around 3 hours prior to roll call with full kit on, like just 40 pounds of gear, and I'm like, there ain't no way. You have got to, like, you should be carrying absolutely nothing right now,
right?
Drinking as much water as you can, eating as many calories as you can shove into your body right now, so that you have energy, because you're going to be moving for the next 24 hours. Like, you can't. And it's so, yeah, I mean, even if you're in phenomenal shape, if you haven't learned from experience how to manage your energy through an event, you'll get destroyed.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, yeah. All right, let's a couple more questions. Can you do a bundle package with battery grip included on a Gen 3 billet? Maybe at some point. Keep your eye open for updates. Maybe look for an update on the Unleashed series in that regard. Just keep your eyes open. It takes this time when we launch a new technology. You then have to, again, this is just business that customers don't care about to some extent. But the reality of it is, we're a manufacturer. Once we launch something new, there's existing inventory there's existing inventory dealers have. There's and it takes time to filter stuff down through distribution and get it in the hands of customers. So you'll see more stuff with the battery grip at some point. Exactly what it looks like. Just be patient with us. We're getting there. I think it's fair to say we innovate at a faster pace than anybody else in the industry. So yeah, but it still takes us time. Like we got, we got to get stuff out one step at a time. Greetings from Germany, and spare receivers. We've had this question forever. The answer is always kind of the same. It's just, again, this is us being who we are as a company, which is we're a US-based manufacturer. It's really hard, right? When the decision comes down to, hey, we have an upper receiver sitting here, we can either build it into a gun and sell a complete gun, or we can sell a receiver by itself. It's really hard to just sell the receiver by itself, because we don't have infinite manufacturing capacity. We don't have just a huge factory that we can just produce as many as we want of stuff. So it is something we would like. I'll speak for myself. I would like to do that at some point, at least in limited quantity. But right now, we don't have that available. What about the new SR25? We've been getting really good feedback on that.
Dan, Jose is one of my Texas folks. Jose, it runs great. 308 builds. Mag wise, again, if you got to take a look at them, man. Definitely worth it.
Are you going to do any other limited edition this year? No more of the actual, what we call the limited edition planned for this year. We do have another. Well, I don't know whether that's been announced. Maybe I shouldn't say that. We do have some other stuff coming later this year. That's a little more exclusive product line, but it's none of the actual limited edition.
The answer is yes. Yes.
But hold tight. We'll see. We have tons of stuff in the works as always. So just hang in there with us, and we're always looking to push the envelope. Sal, I appreciate you hopping on today. It's been fun chatting, and I look forward to seeing you at a few weeks down at Six Flags.
Yeah, brother. It'd be great to see you.
All right. Have a good one, man. And thanks for hopping on, guys.